Hi, I'm 11 Alive education reporter Donna Lowry, and this school year, the big news in Georgia is the 20th anniversary of Georgia's pre-K. A Chinese philosopher once said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And 20 years ago, Georgia took a single step, beginning a 20-year journey that has led to a nationally recognized statewide pre-K program.
Hello, I'm Governor Zell Miller, and I'm proud to introduce an exciting program funded by the Georgia Lottery for Education. This program helps children by providing them an early introduction into education and gives them an opportunity to socialize with other children their age. If Georgia is to compete in the 21st century, then all of our children must start school ready to learn. The pre-kindergarten program will do just that.
Are you beginning to learn how to read? If you are, how about raising your hand? Do you like to hear stories read to you?
We know that pre-K is one of those areas in which we can do a lot in a relatively short period of time. One of the national organizations that rates pre-K programs has said that Georgia is one of the best, if not the best, in all of the 10 major areas that they measure in terms of quality.
The Georgia Pre-K program is one of the oldest in the nation, and it's also been highly touted for its quality.
When the lottery came along and the public was interested in how that money would be spent, the opportunity for pre-K and the impact it would have on education was pretty apparent.
There is kind of this pre-K debate between a universal program, a program that as long as the child is age eligible, any child can attend, and a targeted program. A targeted program is a program that's targeted at a certain population.
Georgia's model of universal pre-K is the right model because a rising tide floats all boats, and children who come from families where language maybe isn't spoken as often or as richly, when they're around peers who have that type of language, they hear that at school.
I tell teachers, you've really got to love this to do it. This is not a job. This is a calling to do this. This is not third grade, it's not fifth grade. This is a true calling.
Why is pre-K so important? This year, the state will invest over $300 million to serve approximately 84,000 of the state's youngest learners, more than 60% of all 4-year-olds. Like all state programs, Georgia's pre-K has faced difficult budget decisions.
2 years ago, we did face a considerable budget cut to the pre-K program. That was all in an effort to assure that we had a good, solid financial foundation for the program going forward.
We're in this for the long haul. I think what we've seen in the current administration, it's not just about pre-K, it's about all of early learning. And we're seeing a lot of investment of time, and I know when we have the chance there'll be resources too.
Business is starting to see that if we're going to be making these investments in education, all along the spectrum from early learning to college, that where you get the biggest bang for that investment is in the early years.
How many do you think this is?
What you see going on in a pre-K classroom is, learning the basics, but it's also engaging with other kids. It's responding to an adult, following instructions, being comfortable in that environment. So it's the cognitive, it's the social and emotional, it's the intellectual, it's the fun too.
Well, I have a lot of good memories about education and growing up. It was a community in which education was valued, and I think that's the kind of community that we need to continue to foster in our state.
every day we were allowed to bring something with us. And how comforting that was for me to show up every day with my little brown bunny. And I remember my teacher would always comment on whatever you brought that day, and would stand at the door and greet every child every morning and tell you how happy she was that you had come that day.
My mom was constantly reading to me. My favorite book was a book called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I liked it so well that my mother ended up hiding the book. Although she replaced it with several others, I think she had gotten to the end of her rope with reading Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which was a great book.
What do they match?
The clothes.
Eyes? The clothes. What about this? Yeah, they have the same outfit on.
Over the last 20 years, Georgia has benefited from a high-quality preschool experience. We've educated over 1.2 million pre-K children. Our program has been built on a strong foundation of looking at what research tells us and then the practical application in our classrooms. Our challenge over the next 20 years is to make sure that we still look at cutting-edge research, we still follow what we're figuring out in our classrooms, and we make sure that we're aligning the strong foundation of our children in pre-K to the K-12 system so that they are becoming lifelong learners. If we can do those things over the next 20 years, then we're going to ensure that the next million children have a strong foundation to build upon.
So, to the thousands of pre-K providers, teachers, and assistant teachers, we all say happy anniversary for more than 20 years. Your small steps have become great strides, and what a journey it has been.